viewers, welcome to NCK Hub Consulting and Training. If you like our videos, kindly do subscribe and follow. Thank you.
It will be really an interesting topic. How to connect to a private server. That private server is not able to SSH you, not able to allowing you to do operations inside the server. So that server, what is the issue? How to resolve this one? This we are going to have a quick look. So we have to do SSH by doing a other instance of jump or public server or doing bash and host. Next, another thing is we have to enable and work with one option, that is this one, session manager. Okay, there are two options how we can establish a secured way of connection, and we can do login and resolve this issue of connection timed out, and we can simply log into the server. Those two ways, the two important activities which we are going to have a look. Okay, for that one, I will come from scratch. Whatever you have tried, that is very good. I really appreciate your work and previously how you have implemented. We are going to count it from the scratch. Kindly please observe. So there is only one server which was we have tried. All these I am going to delete as of now, and we are going to start from scratch. I am terminating all this. So there will be no confusion. So everything is all right. So this will be your basic AWS account, which is going to be like when you start your private instance creation. Okay, the 2 points which I have said, come back to the one. So we have two ways to set up private instance login, either by creating a jump server or a public server and connecting to that server. From that server, you can do session login. From there, you can access the another server, one server to another server, like you are doing RDP from your local to another. From server to server also we can do manage. Next one is session manager. So why we are in that situation is only this connection timeout is happening with some backend changes. Those changes we are going to implement. Okay. So now everything is clinical clear, guys. You can see nothing is there. So this already we have deleted. If you want, we can do terminate also. So everything is terminated. Nothing is available. Now I am going to showcase you. This is cloud. This is my region. Here I have to create a VPC. Okay, come back to the actual point. How in office premises or regular in our projects we will be implementing a bastion or a jump server connection. If you have a timeout connection, if you are not able to connect to your private instance, what is the way of implementing is create a VPC. Under that VPC, you have to start mapping your associations. Now, first point, we have to create a VPC. So now you tell me what is the name we can do consider. Accordingly, we can do proceed, or else I will do proceed with creating any name convention. Okay, so let me start creating a project VPC. Okay, so for this one, we are ultimately going to create everything on the name of VPC, and we are going to collect the IP address 10.0. 0/16. Okay. So from this VPC, we are going to erase to another level of networks. I have enabled all the required by default, whatever it is required. So under this project VPC, now I am going to create a subnet. Next, after this one, as per the mapping, you can see I'm going to create a public subnet and private subnet. So with one subnet connection, we can't establish a private connection. Why? Why? Because a private subnet requires an another resource or a association help. Okay. Directly, you can assume an example like this is your home. Okay. Entirely. So if you have to go inside your bedroom or any other room, kitchen, directly you have to knock your bell and you have to enter by knocking the bell from the main gate. Then on only you will be associated with certain path. You can go from one room to another room. Okay, from the main gate only there is one way you can go to your home. So similarly, we are going to start creating the instance with the same associations and connections by creating public and private net connections. So folders, everyone is going to eliminate all the older sessions. Now come back to the project VPC. I'm going to select, I am going to name it as, first I will be creating project. This will be with public server. Okay, this is called a jump server which we are going to create from the public subnet. Okay, or else we can do create a bastion logging as well. Apart of that one, we are using jump server login. From the jump, we are going to log into the private server connection. All right, so public project subnet 1. All right, next pick a zone preference, whichever it is comfortable. So let's consider US East 1A. Accordingly, under this VPC, we are going to plan and create our actual requirement 10.0.0.0/24. So I am going to utilize this resource now. Okay, next we will do change another thing. So this is going to be the my public subnet. Okay, this public subnet, I have to create an association which should allow a proper connection of public connections. So prior to this one, I am going to create, as I have created a subnet, I am going to associate all these with public connections. Public connections, how it happens? Through the internet gateway. So this is my internet gateway. Okay. This internet gateway, I am going to provide access to the VPC. So here I am creating an internet gateway. Project IGW. Okay. So this internet gateway, I am going to attach it to the VPC. Attach to VPC, select a VPC, project VPC, attach it. So my internet has been started. Like this, how I am going to connect to my internet with this Wi-Fi. Likewise, my actual master network is going to connect to my internet first inside the project. Okay, end users will be able to log in to the server. Next, I have created a subnet. For this subnet, I am going to create a public route table. So let me start creating a public route. Public route 1 project. Okay. Next, select the VPC. Which VPC we have to select? This one. Next, add the tag, create a route table. Okay. Next, after this one, you have to select this edit route and you have to associate it. Okay. So before going to the route association, just add the subnet. Okay. Here only you can do make it. Edit subnet association, select it, save it. Okay. Now, as the association for the subnet is completed now. Now come back to the diagram. What I have added, I have created a route. That route I have associated to enable the connection with respect to the subnet association. Okay. So this connection I have established. Am I correct? Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now come back to the edit route. So while editing the route, what you have to do? Click on add route, click on this thing, allow here public. We have to allow internet gateway. So the internet gateway now I have connected to the VPC, the same internet gateway. I am going to attach it to my route association. Okay, as it is a public. So the same way I'm going to make it happen, the same connection for this VPC. I am allowing the connection now. So after this connection, the activity which is going to be allowed is all the network with respect to internet gateway, and this is completed. Next, my flow log I will do check now. My VPC. This is my project VPC. The flow log which I am going to map, VPC created, VPC flow log connection established. This is default route. The project internet gateway connection established. Okay, with respect to 00/24. Now, the second thing which I am going to create now is another subnet, which is our crucial point, that is private subnet. Select the project VPC, select, follow the same naming convention, private hyphen subnet 02 hyphen project. Okay. You can take same zone or a different zone. No, not at all a problem. There is no nothing condition. You can prefer as per your needs and requirement. You can prefer from one zone to another zone connection also. So next you have to select the VPC. So here the VPC which we are going to collect now is 1.0/24. Okay. Previously I have used from starting here. Now I am going to use the prior one. This is going to my private subnet. Okay. Now how many subnets we have? We can check our flow log. Total we have two
To submit.
subnets. Those two subnets we are going to have a look here. Check out the resource map. So we have now in under the same region, one is public, another one is private. All right. So this is as of now, it is connected to the default route. By default, every network will have a default route. We are going to create a different route and
To the
associate it. And we are going to connect to the private. So now come private route to space project. Select a project, create route, go to subnet associations, edit subnet association. What we have to associate?
private.
Private connection we have to associate. Very good. Next, after this one, we have to edit route. So what is the level of approach we have to do here? Edit routes. So before editing route to my server, I have to make sure this is private, not public. This is public. Okay. This should have internet gateway access from this VPC, which we have connected to this one. This should have a different connection, not internet. That is NAT gateway. Very good. That NAT gateway we are going to create now to the same VPC. Okay, in the same cloud. Okay, this will be my NAT gateway connection. Okay, this NAT gateway, what happens is directly more ahead as well. So this NAT gateway, what I have to do is I have to allow a private connection, which is secured to this subnet, which is secured to this subnet. Okay, that subnet will be connected to the same instance. Okay, so anyways, this is part of the same thing. Now to implement this one, I have to go to my NAT. Likewise, we have created all the internet gateway and attach it to the VPC. Similarly, you have to create NAT. So project NAT. So here you have to remember and recall previously we might have created another project with respect to another server. Today we are going to create a new one activity. So that activity you should remember with respect to the connection. We have to enable public and we have to connect to the private subnet, which should route to the private connection. Next, you have to check out any default are there. Don't associate with this one. By default, it will allow you to create an elastic IP. So this elastic IP, which is starting with 8 dB, you can do check. You can create the NAT gateway. Okay. This NAT gateway you have to associate in your private route. So this is your private route project. Click on either here or here, anywhere. Edit your routes. Now come to the point you will be allotted to allow NAT gateway. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this NAT gateway is the connection which you have created. So till here we are good. Cool, right?
Yes, sir.
Now with these instances, we have to create now two different servers. One is this one, another one is this one. Okay. Then using the jump server, we are going to we are going to connect to the internet inside the private instance. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So let's come back. I will be removing this EC2 picture and I will be adding the similar one which we have added for the other one as well. So let me go to the compute. Let me pick up this one. Let me remove this one. So this is EC2 of public. This is private. These two EC2 instance we have to create. This is our next task. All these we have created region, VPC routes, everything is associated. Okay, everything is completed. Cool, everything working fine. This route we have associated with this NAT. So this we can do bring up, no problem. And this we have associated. Okay, this with respect to the private route and same you can do bring this down. Okay, so these arrow marks we can do delete. So you can do understand this one. So the same thing activity we are going to implement by creating EC2 instance. So here I am going to give a pass, take a break. Okay. Here previously in the session we have discussed about the same public and subnets, private subnet. How to create this public and private subnet? I am going to start have a look now. So now let's start creating public subnet. Okay. So till here what we have discussed is if an connection timeout error occurs, how to create a public subnet and private subnet, and how to attach public and private routes. To the public, we have to attach internet gateway, and to the private subnet, we have to attach NAT gateway instance. So this is the episode 1 we are concluding here, and we are going to create another video which will be a followed interview or followed recording. Sorry, this will be a followed recording of session 2 or an episode 2, which will be continuing next. Create a public and private instance. To those instances, we will be creating a PEM key and trying to do SSH. How to jump into a private server? We are going to have a look, and that will be our next episode as part of this connection timeout error. Kindly please subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So this, I hope it will be a very learning and interesting sessions for you. These are technically the encounters or the issues we encounter on live. So please wait for our next video as part of this episode 2 and watch subscribe and like our channel. Thank you.